This is my Range Rover that is no longer broken. And as most of you know,
I bought a broken vandalized Range Rover L405 from the auction, and after fixing an initial electrical fault, I discovered that it had an engine knocking. I then removed the oil filter only to discover that it had metal particles in it. This is when I realized that the only way to fix this car was to take the engine out. And after successfully managing to rebuild the engine with no previous experience, I managed to get the car back on the road.
and since then I have racked up around 400 miles through various driving conditions to break it in. And in this video I want to inspect the engine and check the quality of my work. And while we are at it, let's do a full major service to the car. I'm gonna also answer the most common question: should we extract or drain the oil? So enough talking, and let's bring it in on the ram. Let's start with checking the oil filter. In my understanding, it's okay to find some little particles in the oil filter at this stage for two reasons. Maybe I didn't manage to clean all the particles from before, or maybe the bearings are breaking in. But that is it. I'm talking about little. Now, is this true or not? Let's find it's just a myth or not. Let's do some myth busting actually. Let's remove the engine cover and actually see how clean it is. I'm very proud of this job, you know? It's very clean. It's very nice and clean. To break the oil filter loose, I'm going to be using 32mm socket with a breaker bar. So it's the moment of the truth. I don't know, guys. I'm a bit worried of how that's gonna turn out to be. So the engine is hot. Well, not super hot, but it's warm. So that's warm to touch. Smells. Actually smells nice.
Oh.
It doesn't smell like a diesel car. You know, like usually diesel is a soot and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I guess it only did 400 miles, but it smells like a fresh oil. Let's have a look now. No, really? 1 second. Can you see that?
There is something silvery, yeah? Yes.
There, can you see that?
Yes, I can see. What is that? Are those
And then
particles?
there,
Oh, yeah. Can
and
see.
there,
Is that?
and there is one. Like I actually did speak to mechanics and they said 100% is absolutely normal to find a few particles in the oil, and this is what I'm seeing. It's not as bad as, you know, we first got the car, you know, but I could see some, and they are minute. They are super, super small. Let me see if I can take one. I can put it in my finger so you can see it. No, it's gonna lose it. Can you zoom in on the camera? Can you see it?
I can see something silver.
Yeah, that bit.
That small one, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah, oh,
that's the
very
one.
small.
Yeah,
I
that's
can
the
see
one.
it. Yeah.
Okay, at this point, let's drain the oil and see if any metal particles are in the oil. There are two ways of draining the oil. There is the extraction method, and there is the normal method, the old method, which is you drain it from the drain plug. I know which method is best. My opinion is each individual engine is different. With this specific engine, I did a lot of tests behind the scene when I had the sump off, and I didn't show in the footage because I wanted to leave it later. And I know what the results are gonna be like, okay? I know which method is best, and it's not what you think it is. But I will show you which method is best so you can come to a conclusion rather than me telling you what the conclusion is. I'm gonna remove the plug and pay attention exactly what's gonna happen. Pay close attention. I'm actually gonna use this tool. It makes things a lot easier. All right, ready?
Yes.
You can see here the red color in the oil, which is the assembly lube, if you ever wondered.
So pay close attention of what's happening right now, okay? Look at the oil. I am not seeing any metal particles coming out, or like a line of metal, like usually a silver line.
Yes.
I'm not seeing anything like that. So the oil looks very healthy, if I'm honest with you. So I've waited long enough, at least 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes actually, 15 minutes to make sure all the oil is out for the test that I'm about to do next to be valid, okay? And I'm gonna install a new washer and a plug, some plug. Okay, the plug is fully in. So now, for the people who always say you should always drain your oil from the sump plug, you're satisfied now, right? We're happy now, okay? But I want to say that this engine is different. If I were to remove this hose, which is the hose that is connected to the fuel extractor tube from the top, if I remove it and then oil comes out, then we have a problem. Because that would mean that if you would extract the oil, there's a more chance of you collecting more oil than the sump plug here, okay? Are we in agreement, yeah? What do you think, Alex, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna put this up in case oil falls out, because oil should not fall out, because removing the sump plug will make sure that 100% oil is out. Extraction, or sucking the oil from the top, usually is not the preferred method, because it doesn't remove all of the oil. Well, let's have a look. I'm gonna unplug it.
Moment of the truth.
Moment of the truth.
Oh.
Here you go.
Wow.
We have oil coming from the... Where's this oil coming from? That one, it was coming from the extraction tube from the top.
Yes.
And this is coming from the engine. Okay? So let's put it down like that so you guys can see it. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? We still have oil coming out. Is it stopping? No, it's not stopping.
No.
That oil, because when I was cleaning and I was doing a lot of tests, and I put in like brake cleaner and so on, I put in water and soap, and when I was building the engine, and I've calculated, it's gonna still drip for about at least like 10 minutes. I'm gonna actually time this to 23 Newton meter now. Okay, perfect. But what we're gonna do with this? Honestly, I'm too bored to wait. So I think that's okay. Now, what does that mean? Should you extract the oil, or should you use the plug to drain it from underneath? Honestly, I'm not gonna reach the conclusion. I'm gonna say that's up to you, what you wanna do. But my observation is extracting the oil from the top is not such a bad idea. It's not such a bad idea on this specific engine. I'm not saying all engines in general. This engine is designed to be extracted from the top, okay? Just bear in mind, I'm not saying all of the engine, I'm saying this specific engine in this specific sump. You can see it's still dripping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it quickly, like that.
Done.
Okay, let's click. We're gonna use brake cleaner to clean this bit. I'm going to be using a genuine Land Rover oil filter and a gasket. So I'm putting the gasket at the moment, and now we're just gonna put the oil filter. And now I'm gonna put the filter back and torque it to 25 Newton meter. So while we're here, before putting in the new oil, let's replace the air filter. This car has two air filters, one on the right, one on the left. I'll start by removing 6 screws on each air filter. And now I'm gonna lift the cover and then remove the air filter. Of course, I always inspect the air filter. I can see this is clean, however, I will replace it regardless. And now let's install the new air filter. But obviously, before installing it, I'm gonna have to date it so I know when I replaced it. And next, of course, we're tying the 6 screws back. And same thing goes on the other side. I'm gonna remove 6 screws, remove the filter, make sure the filter is in a good condition. And then when I put the new filter, I just mark it with the date so I can know when it's replaced. And I put it back, and then I put the 6 screws back. So since this is a major service, I'm gonna replace the diesel filter. So I removed this trim out of my way, and I know there are 4 fuel connections on the top that need disconnecting, but that will maybe cause a lot of spillage. So I have a trick up my sleeve to reduce that. I'm gonna use the extractor here to remove the fuel before we actually remove it out of the car. Let me show you how. So I'm gonna remove the hose, the one that is very, very right. And then I will suck the fuel from there. So now that we have emptied the fuel filter, let's continue removing the 3 other pipes. Next, I'm gonna lift the diesel filter out. It is actually better to slide it from underneath and then up. Once the filter is in my visibility here, I'm gonna disconnect the cable underneath it. Right now I'm removing 1 screw to remove the plastic piece on top of the diesel filter and swap it to the new filter. I'm going to replace the cap underneath. Next, I'm gonna put the plastic back, making sure the arrow aligns with the line. I'm going to plug the connections underneath, put the filter back, and then plug all the 4 hoses from the top. So last time I used 5W30 Castrol C2. However, this time I'm using 5W30 C1, which is the JLR 035005 code, if that's important for you. So it is the next day and we're working on a video. And in my mind, I could not shake the idea of those metal particles that we saw in the oil filter. It's really bothering me because I spent so many hours. Actually, I spent about 2-3 days cleaning that engine block. And I've used a lot of stuff like inside to clean each and every knot and cranny in the gallery. And there is no way that I've missed something. And then I thought about it. I really thought about it. I could not sleep last night. Especially that I turn on the engine, okay, and the engine is so smooth. We went on a drive and it was so smooth. And you know what? At the beginning, when we first, finish with the car, when I turn on the car in the morning, a puff of white smoke comes out like just like it for a second, and then that is it. Now we have no smoke, and from inside the car when you're driving, you cannot hear the engine whatsoever, and it's so smooth. Now after changing the oil, it's perfect, and there is no way that I did something wrong. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and online everyone said, hey, it's okay to find some oil, some metal particles. And then I remembered. Remember what we did with the cylinder heads? Do you remember, Alex?
Yes.
We took them somewhere to skim them.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
We got them skimmed.
Yeah.
And they promise that they will wash it. When we got the cylinder heads here, we had to rewash them. They said they washed them. It doesn't look like perfect. And then for me, I rewashed them and stuff was coming out. And some slight metal was coming out from the skimming. So I tried my best to clean it as much as possible, but it looked like I've not done a good job cleaning after they cleaned and they promised to be okay. I think that's where the metal is. That's the only explanation from the cylinder head. Unless I'm wrong, we're gonna have to see on the next service. I'm gonna service the car within the next few 100 miles. I'm not gonna leave it for long because I wanna see the filter again. I wanna turn on the car and listen to it and see if it sounds nice. Is it quieter? I mean, it was very quiet and now even quieter. Yeah. Wow, that's super quiet. And I'm just looking at the back. There is no exhaust fumes or anything.
No. Nice.
That's it.
Yeah.
Let's leave it running for a bit.
Yeah.
Actually, because we're gonna be working underneath it, not so much. Just like a minute or two. Just literally just a minute or two, not when it warms. Just a minute or two, check the oil, and if there's any oil leak, put the tray, and then we can carry on. And now it's time for the cabin filter. So I just opened the glove box and there's a tab, one on the right and left, like a clip. There was like a flap that is closing the cabin filter. So I had to turn on the car, and I think so the AC turns on, and it looks like a caveman thing, and it just opens, like a Batman cave, whatever it's called, yeah? So that's the filter. Let's have a look. Oh, that looks dirty actually, you know, Alex?
Yeah.
That looks very dirty. But you know what we're gonna do with it? Throw it. Let's get another one, because that's we breathe that, you know. That's not for the engine, that's for the cabin. The arrow shows the airflow. So since the air coming from outside in, yes, so it needs to be down.
So the arrow is.
Can you see the arrow?
Yeah. Oh,
airflow. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, downwards, not
downwards,
up.
sorry.
Downwards, yeah. So because the air coming from outside in, I almost put it in the wrong way. It goes that way.
Like that.
Yeah, it goes that way. That's how it looks like. Can you see? So this is the filter here. That's it. And it slides in downwards like this. That's cool. Well, since the cabin filter is in now, I thank you very much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for future videos. And guys, we need to work on the engine. The reason why we haven't been working on the engine this week is because, well, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you next week. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.